Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a long rest. We apologize because this week we had a bit of an audio snafu and we weren't able to deliver perfection, and we will not put anything less than perfect. So if you're listening to DND404 live on a weekly basis, next week will be episode 118. But for today, we're going to go ahead and do a long rest and talk about it. Joined with me is Jared.
Hi.
And Daniel.
I'm here.
And we're going to talk about our 3 favorite Wingstops.
Oh, that's literally one of them.
That is one of them, yes.
Wingstop?
Wow,
is that yours, Tony?
No, actually mine's different.
All right. Dan, kick us off. Where's your wing
Me?
spot?
Oh,
Yeah.
this is, I'm not used to going first.
Yeah, right? We're switching
Oh my
up
goodness.
everything.
Oh my gosh, if I was just thinking chicken, I'd say Chick-fil-A, but that's not wings specifically. So if we're talking wings,
Wangs.
wangs,
On the bone.
there are 2 I'm picking between. I think, honestly, just because my friends and I just like going there to watch sports, and it's just always somewhere around. Quality's usually consistent. I'm just gonna go Buffalo Wild Wings.
Said Buffalo Wings, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that yours?
No, but I
I gotta say, Buffalo Wild Wings, not bad if you go on Tuesdays or Thursdays, because they have buy one, get one. That's the only time I'll go.
Yeah.
It's the only time I'll go. Like, if I can buy one, get one, and then I get then it's worth it. But, you know, quality-wise, it's okay.
Yeah, quality-wise, not the best.
2008, 2014, Buffalo Wild Wings, awesome. Then they fell
I was
off.
put on the spot, so that's my put on the spot answer. I probably should have said Wingstop, honestly, but I didn't want to say it because it was just said.
It was not my choice. I didn't mean to say it, but it's out in the ether. What's yours, Jared?
Mine are just like local ones. If I have to pick a chain, I mean, Wingstop, actually, I did just eat Wingstop, and it kind of blew the socks off me.
Right? It's good.
I had hot honey.
Yes.
It's a dry rub
dude,
at
I just
Wingstop.
had that for the first time.
Woo!
Amazing.
Man, I was like, okay, Wingstop. Before, it was Louisiana Rub that I liked there, but, you know, I think that would be my chain, but most of them are, like, local here.
Oh my gosh, we like all the same wings.
Tony!
I'm going to go home and native. It's a local spot. Real classy, trashy place. I'm going to get to that.
A chain.
I'm going to get to that, but I got to give a shout out to the trashiest fucking chicken place I know on Staten Island, Big Nose Kate's. Shout out to the 25-cent wings every Thursday. I don't know if they still have that deal anymore. 25-cent wings. But my favorite chain would probably have to be Cluck You. I don't know if
Cluck You.
Yeah, it's definitely big in dirty Jersey. But it's it's a chain over here, and it's kind of like Wingstop, but they're really known for their tendies. They got really big tenders, and they're really cheap. But they also have wings, and their wings are pretty good. So I'm gonna have to go Cluck You.
Cluck You, and I don't know how to spell whatever you said that's on Staten Island.
Big Nose Kate's, real.
Big Nose Kate's.
Yeah, it's a bar that does 25-cent wings on Thursdays. Real classy, trashy spot. Like.
It
Both Staten Island
like
you can get. Yeah. You know, you got a couple of
It's
huge...
just one of those names that you know is not a chain restaurant. Just the moment you hear it.
No. I spent a lot of good years, wasted a lot of good youth years in that bar. I've seen things.
Well,
I've seen them.
There's our chains.
Yes.
Some good chains. And Alex not here with us today, but I think Tony's going to explain why in the rundown here.
Yes, we already did a brief synopsis, but we had an audio snafu, and we weren't able to edit episode 118 in time to deliver it to you guys for today. And it is a season finale episode, is an arc ender, and we wanted it to be nothing short of perfect or the best quality that we can deliver at this time. So that's really important to us. So rather than rushing it, we decided to just get together and do a little bit of a long rest episode and talk about some D&D stuff. And I believe, Dan, you have the first topic for us today.
Oh, yeah. First topic I wanted to put on the board is I wanted to put a question to you guys, and I already have mine. I think Jared might have one as well. What would your Ashborn character be like? What would that build be if you were to play an Ashborn in Humbrea? And I guess I can go first just to kind of give you an example here. So my character that I put together, his name is Jax of the Ashborn. I'm just going to keep all those axe names going. you know, Jax with the axe and Brax, you know. And the rule here is level 6 up to level 6, whether you want to multi-class or not. But mine is a Rune Knight fighter. So Jax of the Ashborn has a pretty grisly dark black beard and a long black hair put into a really tight, like thick ponytail, icy blue eyes, soft grayish blue skin, and because obviously he's a Rune Knight, he's got giant language runes tattooed onto his skin, and he also has runes built into his, I always want to call them gauntlets, the forearm ones.
Bracers.
Bracers, yes, bracers. In his bracers and in his huge giant longsword. So Jax is the kind of like the quote-unquote historian fighter of the clan who spent his life trying to learn from giants and really respected giants. So it was like, hey, look, we can take all this information and use that with ourselves, and we don't need to fight against the giants. Maybe we can be friends with the giants. And used his knowledge that he's carried with him throughout the years to, you know, harness some of that giant magic into his own abilities when he fights. So just to kind of give you a rundown of what's going on here. So he's got a great axe. That's a, I gave him an 18, so +4 strength, -1 dexterity, +2 constitution, -1 intelligence, +3 wisdom, +1 charisma. I have 2 feats. One is resilient, so I also get a bonus proficiency for saving throws in wisdom. Oh yeah, Strike of the Giants, which is from, what is it, Bigsby's Thing of Giants, whatever that book's called.
Glory of Giants.
So I have Cloud Strike, where when I strike, I do thunder damage, yeah. And the creature has to succeed a wisdom saving throw, or they can't see me. I'm invisible to them until the next turn. So double attacks. I get some spells that I would just flavor as, you know, rune abilities. Armor of Agathis, Comprehend Languages, Fog Cloud, Speak with Animals. And that's my Rune Knight fighter. That would be if I were to play an Ashborn in this world. There's been the Ashborn arc, so that's why I'm asking.
You would be the Ashborn would be. You would be the outcast of that tribe, 100%. You'd be considered probably the weird one. But
definitely, yeah. A little calmer. And this is the last rule. You do have to try and do a voice. And I did not come prepared with a voice, but we're just gonna go for it. I think Jax would speak a bit slower. He would speak a bit slower with grit, like a bit of an underbite. All right, you need to calm down. We're raging too much. I think that'd be Jack's voice.
Okay, I like it.
Best I can do on the spot. It's definitely not as good as Drell. Oh man, Alec does it so well.
You know, Dan comes in, he always like slam dunks like everything he does, and it's really annoying. And then me and Alec are over here like, yeah, so voices, right? We didn't even think about that.
I think Alec put a lot of thought into his voice, actually. I do like your voice for Armos, though.
Yeah, right? It's pretty good. It's me.
Speaking of your voices, though, what would your character be if you were to be in the Ashborn tribe?
Well, so if we're going by the 2014 rules, I'd do the totem. What's it called? Apologize. Hang on.
Barbarian, right?
Yes, barbarian.
Path of the Totem.
Path of the Totem.
So Path of the Totem warrior, actually. And then you'd go beast, obviously, or bear, because it's the best when you're raging. You're resistant to all damage.
Certified best one.
And it's really the only one that you do need.
That's it. Yeah. Once you get to level 3, you're good. Don't even go past level 3.
I mean, honestly, like after that, like there's really nothing else. Like some of the other ones are like okay, but I would say that. But I was gonna say if I go by the 2024 rules, I would do the Path of the World Tree.
Ooh.
That would be really cool, but I don't know if it would fit within Drell's piece, so it'd probably be more of the Path of the Berserker.
Path of the Totem.
No, he's saying,
I'm saying if it was the 2024 rules.
Oh, Berserker. Right. Gotcha.
They changed Barbarian.
They didn't change anything. They added 2. We'll talk about that. We'll talk
Totem
about that when we get to.
Is gone.
No, it's not. It's not. Nothing's gone. We're gonna talk about when we get to the handbook portion of this. We're gonna talk about the handbook today. By the way, nothing's gone. It's all there. It's in addition to.
Yeah.
In D&D Beyond, it's just weird how they did that.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're a business and they're trying to push product.
Right.
It's a weird concept, I know, but fucking.
So what does that character look like, and how would they fit into the tribe?
Okay, so since he was going bear, I was thinking more grizzly and very hairy individual. I was gonna really play that up, and especially being up in the cold, type of situation. And then very opposite of Drill. Drill's bald, not much hair. This guy would just be as wild as you can think of, like a kind of a wildling type of guy. And then
Bigfoot.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Big, hairy, crazy. And then I was gonna play opposite of what Dan's talking about. I would be I would only say like one word every so often, and I'd be like, you type of situation. You know what I mean? Very what is that called? Stoic.
What's your name? What's your character's name?
Ball. Where
Ball. His name is Ball.
I love balls. I love balls.
There it is. There you go. He's very short. Very straight to the point.
He is as short as he is tall.
Okay, whoa.
He's the Wolverine of our tribe, I see.
There you go. There you go.
Is that his voice? It's like... We were talking about his name before this, but I forget what it actually is.
Baylor.
Baylor. And that's the name of a monster in D&D.
It's the name of a lot of things.
Yeah. Looks, it is the name of a lot of things, but Baylor in D&D is kind of like the Balrog of D&D.
Yeah.
At least I would say.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's really close. I need to get my master manual. God damn it.
So we got the hothead. I'm the stoic. I'm always trying to stop people from raging so much. No one likes me very much. Why is that a trend? I need to stop that from being a trend.
Yeah, get angry.
I don't know what you mean. Whatever could be the problem.
Why does everybody hate me? But Tony, if you were in the Ashborn tribe, I feel like you've probably already ruminated on this a lot as a DM. What would your character be like?
His name is Cax. K-A. I don't like how that sounds out loud. Now that I said it, is Kaxx.
Max.
I would try to also do a spin on axe for Cax, and I don't like how that sounds out loud. But
Slacks.
Slacks with an X. Okay, I love that. I would go. First of all, I'm gonna go to the 2024 build. All right, and what I'm gonna do is, if we're doing level 6, I'm going Path of the Giant. It's right in.
Figured.
Yeah, Path of the Giant, because you get to throw stuff. I love that throwing mechanic. He's going Great Club. And in the 2024 edition, Great Club has a weapon mastery ability called Push. And whenever you hit something, they have to make a strength check to see if they get pushed up to 10 feet away. So now you got this dude hurling clubs at people, boinking people on the head up to like 30 feet away, and then they get pushed an additional 10 feet away. So I'm just hurling bowling pins.
Who needs Eldritch Blast when you just have...
Yeah, just have
a club.
Why so when stick do same thing? Like, it's... And that's his voice, by the way. Why so when stick do same thing? That's his voice. I'm a really big fan of Path of the Giant from the Glory of Giants book. The element I would pick, because they get an element which they can imbue their weapon with, is ice, just to keep the theme going. And yeah, and they could also make themselves bigger. So, a Goliath just getting bigger, it fits. It fits in there.
My character also gets bigger. Fun fact.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You didn't mention it now, so I just feel like you're stealing my thunder a little bit, but no, that's cool.
Well, you stole my idea.
I already played this character in bunny form.
Yeah, but not in Ashborn form. So that's worse because you triple downed.
That's awesome.
I forget what it's called, but it's part of my rune carver stuff. When I picked you get to pick 2 runes at 3rd level, which is cool. And so I picked Cloud Rune and Frost Rune, and I think the Cloud Rune's the one that makes me grow. Oh no, Giant's Might, it's its own thing. At level 6, I get to use a bonus action to grow bigger, to become large.
Large.
I get bonus damage. Large. That was my question for our little roundtable discussion. Let's go on to Tony. Tony, what's your topic of discussion next?
I mean, everyone's talking about the handbook, but specifically the new 2024 handbook. Everyone's talking about it. You might even be sick of hearing about it, but I have to get it out there. They reworked Counterspell.
Okay.
All right, and it's catching a lot of heat. I
don't know, by the way, this is blind for me. I don't know what the new Counterspell is.
I will tell you in a second. I want to get it up and read it from the book. I didn't do that.
While you're looking, how do you feel about the book? How does it look?
I love it, dude. I'm gonna be honest. It reads great. It flips great. A lot of good improvements, things that they added to the game. Keyword added, and I like it. I mean, if you have it as a digital version, it's probably more than enough if you've been playing D&D forever. I'm just a collector. Fun fact, apparently, they've only sold about 5,000 physical copies. I think like almost 4,000 in the first week, and then that number trickled down.
And they're all content creators.
Yeah, pretty much. So that makes me feel a little bit better about my alternate cover purchase, I gotta be honest.
Yeah, right.
Okay. The new Counterspell. 2024. All right, it's a reaction. It's a 3rd level spell, still the same. So it's a reaction which you can take when you see a creature within 60 feet of yourself casting a spell, whether it be verbal, somatic, or material component. Right? It's a somatic spell, so you just have to say some words. And it's a finger spell, so you have to use weird finger movements to cast it. So you don't even need to speak. It's instantaneous. So here's the change. You attempt to interrupt a creature in the process of casting a spell. The creature must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the spell dissipates with no effect, and the action, bonus action, or reaction used to cast it is wasted. If that spell was cast with a spell slot, the slot isn't expended. So you don't have to cast at 4th level, 5th level, 6th level anymore, right? It's always a 3rd level spell, and it makes the target creature that's trying to cast a spell roll the dice rather than having the person roll the dice who's casting Counterspell. And it makes Constitution that much more important because, in my personal opinion, Constitution's already an important stat, and you realize that when you play the game later on, but it's never apparent, and now it makes Constitution that much more viable because I feel like it's always overlooked.
Give me that glass cannon build.
Yeah.
Glass cannon.
So I personally like it. It makes it less complicated. But what are your thoughts on it, Jared, as someone who uses it all the time?
I gotta say, the fact that if it doesn't work, it doesn't use a spell slot is awesome for a certain class named Warlocks.
No. You still use the spell slot. The guy whose spell got interrupted doesn't expend the slot. So that's good for the player.
So,
because if you cast Fireball and I as a DM,
and then you counterspell,
right? Your spell slot's sleeved.
I guess either way, it's good. It was better the other way, but fine.
I'm leaning towards the other way just because the meme is funny and it's like something everybody goes through where it's like, a counterspell, I counterspell your counterspell, you know?
So wait,
I'm definitely gonna miss that aspect because by these rules you can't I don't think maybe you can still counterspell. Oh no, I guess no, I'm just dumb. You could still counterspell this because it's still a reaction. As long as they still have the reaction,
yes,
you could counterspell this counterspell as a different character. No, even as that character if you haven't used your reaction. So that being considered,
I need to see it,
I guess,
in front of me, like the actual wording. Because I'm like,
let's play test it. So I'm casting Fireball on your group, Jared. Counterspell. Okay. What do I have to roll? My Constitution is +2. I'm a +2 Constitution build. So I think I only have +2 on that saving throw, but what does the save equal?
Oh, it's the spellcaster's DC.
Oh, it's the spellcast. So Jared's is probably like 18. You know what I mean?
At that high of level, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where it gets really tough. And I roll, I got a nat 20. That's actually nuts.
Rigged.
Yeah.
Rigged. But I get a nat 20, so that wastes my action to cast Fireball, and I don't have a reaction counterspell, let's say, and so now I just have to sit there and look pretty, and I'm like, oh, fuck you, I'll get you next time, you know? So that definitely makes it easier. As far as ease is concerned, I think that makes it much better for new players coming in playing spellcasters, because that is one of the more complicated spells when you get into the mid to late game for new players, I would say, because you're like, okay, wait, what's the DC is equal to your spell level or something, but I also need to consider the fact that I need to cast it at the same level or higher to just beat it outright.
If you read the old one was you attempt to counterspell a creature. If the creature is casting a spell of 3rd level or higher, the spell fails and has no effect. And already you're like, wait, if I'm counterspelling a person, like a DM, how do I know if it's a 3rd level? Like, are they supposed to announce that or something like that? Like, that's more information than the DM's like in a thematic level or thematic piece is already not going to tell you, because they're going to be like, they cast this ability. Oh, actually, I want to counterspell that, but what level that? You know what I mean? It just ruins the storytelling aspect of it.
It always halts the conversation of battle.
Then it says, if the cast is 4th level or higher, the ability check using your spellcasting ability, the DC is equal to +10 your level on a... I get it. Like, already, it's convoluted.
Right.
You know what I mean? In comparison to the new one. And heaven forbid you try to cast it at a higher thing, and then your spellcasting level uses a spell slot of 4th level or higher. The interrupted spell has no effect if the level is less than or equal to the level of the spell slot you used. Oh my goodness.
The more I'm talking about it, the more I'm starting to get swayed over onto this side of the new counterspell. Because conceptually, it's like they're doing a concentration check because you're disrupting their concentration.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It makes sense.
So thematically, it's a bit better.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, here's a little spike of magic in your brain, you know? So that I kind of like, but it definitely feels better when you take away one of their spells. It sucks when they take away one of your spells, but...
And it was also your roll, so it felt even better when you rolled and you did really high.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think that's where a lot of people are disappointed by it.
Where it's, if they pass, it's like, shit.
Yeah, but to do that, they had to take out your DC is equal to 10 plus your spell level, and on a success, this creature spell fails. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, let's do a vote. So, Jared, what do you vote?
I'm all for making things easier, even at the expense of maybe making things a little less cool, as long as it gets more people into it. And also the narrative way. Like, I'm already sold narratively. Like, if I have to interrupt the DM who's telling a good story about, actually, what level is that? So
you are for the new counterspell. Tony, you are for the new counterspell as well, I think.
Yes.
And I've been swayed. I gotta be honest. Everyone here at DND404, we approve of the new counterspell, apparently. And although it's maybe not as cool, and you're not min-maxing stuff and all that, it for the greater good, it is, I think the change is better.
Yeah, it's a good learning. It's a good learning thing.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to make a side note that, you know how you just like played it out where like I cast Fireball, I cast Counterspell, I cast Counterspell. You guys like role played that?
Yeah.
That's how it teaches you the rules in the new player's handbook.
Is it really?
So it's like, here's a situation between two people, and it's always between a Jared or a Russell. So Jared, you're the
wait.
Yeah,
they got me.
Is it actually?
I swear to God, it's Jared.
I made it to the book. They knew. Hey, just want to give a shout out to the people who wrote this piece, and thanks for incorporating me into the DND404 community and writing this spell. Appreciate you. But really, like, you know, give me like a shout out, like, like just a little something.
Where's his check?
Yeah, is it spelled the same way? Is it Jared or is it Jord?
Gerard.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's spelled like yours, Jared.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're the DM. Right. You're the DM in this scenario, but yeah,
makes sense.
Cool.
I also wanted to mention exhaustion because they changed that.
Oh,
like
exhaustion was kind of lame. I'm gonna be honest. Before
it's
like there
deadly.
was like
no.
I would like when you get 1 point, it's like half your movement speed if I remember right.
That's a topic for another show though.
Yeah, I know, but
It's deadlier.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for.
I was
hoping it was.
Yeah,
I was hoping
we'll definitely
it was.
have to bring that up in the next after show. Make a note. We should talk about in
the next one. I want to do is
show.
talk about the new player's handbook and how people are just overreacting. Dan.
Yeah, but we don't got a lot of time.
I just want to let people know that they're overreacting.
We each get one segment.
That's fine.
Tony.
I have a closing note then. Is that fair? May I have a closing note?
That can be your suggestion at the end. Your you can use.
Why can't I make the
your
closing
recommendation
note about the handbook on the topic of the handbook?
Because we just closed the note.
No, you closed the
On
note.
Counterspell.
You closed the
Hey, you know what? Roll Constitution saving throw, and then we'll see if you can get it. You've been
Yeah, nat
counterspelled.
20 or higher.
What? Yo, give me a modest if we're rolling flat. Yo, 12.
15.
12. 14.
Meet you in the middle.
14.
15. No, 15. Middle would have been like 16.
I rolled a 15.
Yeah, you have to beat it. You didn't
No,
beat it.
meet or beat.
Sorry.
How are you going to fucking
No,
lose
has to beat. That's the player handbook rules.
I'm looking
In
at
the
the
new
rules. That's
rules,
how DC
you
checks
have to
go.
beat it.
All right, Tony needs to get this out of his system.
Get it? Yeah, talk to us and get it out, but I'm going to cut it from the...
I don't fucking cut this. You're making it longer than it needs to be. All I want to say is that people are a little upset about the new player's handbook, and I understand why you may or may not be upset about it. But what the main note I just want to say is that these rules are nice quality of life upgrades, but they're only in addition to. Nothing is replaced. You don't have to use it.
Nothing. Even Artificer.
Yeah, it's coming out too, but like it's still there, and it's nothing is taken away, and everything is exactly like it. For a game that loves DLC and third-party things, you get real mad. Some people get real hurt about the new player's handbook.
I think the biggest thing is that it's been the same for 10 plus years. So any changes is tough for people. And then because they've grown so fond and had so many good memories with the thing that did happen that was good.
And it's still there, man. It ain't going away.
No, I agree.
They didn't come and take it off your bookshelf.
But that's why I think that's where there's a lot of passion as opposed to people understanding, hey, it's better to get people in the door and playing than it is to make counterspell much more difficult to understand. So
yeah, totally.
But moving on topics, here we go.
Yeah, Jared, you get the last one.
Am wanting to in our Discord, if you are a Patreon
shout out
pal, which means that you just, go onto our little Patreon. You just give us a follow.
Patreon pal.
That's what it says. Patreon pals.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Who wrote that? That's
section.
not me. I didn't write that.
Well, Patreon
Who
pal.
made that? Oh my god. That's Dan. That's a Dan title if I've ever seen one.
Be part of the Menace pals. Anyways, so if you are part of there, what you do is it unlocks a part in our Discord. In the Discord, you can ask us all sorts of questions. There is an Ask Us Anything, and I figured, you know what? Let's just go through that and maybe answer some of these questions that are still floating out here that we haven't answered.
Yeah.
So starting with one that I did answer, but I just wanted to throw out. Someone was asked, let me figure out where it
boxes
is.
or briefs. Somebody asked that. Boxes or briefs.
Boxer briefs.
Where is it? Oh, they asked.
Easy.
Thank you, Dan.
Infamous Dino 21 asked Drell, Tony, Menace, and Armos, what are your favorite set of dice you currently have and or that you want? I answered with my favorite dice, which are these glass dice, which I don't recommend to a beginner or maybe even a mid-tier person that's into D&D, just because they're very fragile. But do they look absolutely cool? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was to get a dice, I think I would get some really well-balanced ones. I think that's my biggest thing, is that I want them to be as balanced as possible. So I would dive down the rabbit hole to figure out who makes the best kind that it can get. But what about you, Mr. Dan?
Me next. Okay. I think I've talked about this maybe in an after show. I can't remember where. But my favorite set of dice that I'll probably use in our next campaign My favorite set of dice is a Purple Heart Wood dice set. The only thing I don't like about the set is that the D4 is the rectangle D4, you know, that gem looking one instead of the pyramid.
Oh, ew.
Yeah, that's the only thing I hate about it. But otherwise, it looks absolutely stunning. So Purple Heartwood, if you've never heard of it, it's a South American tree where when you cut into it and oxygen hits the wood on the inside, it turns this like deep purple color. Really, really beautiful. So it's made out of that wood. Someone makes them on Etsy and like probably has a machine that carves them out and stuff like that. And it's very nicely polished. And it is just
Are they
my
heavy?
favorite.
They seem like they'd be really light.
No, super light. Yeah, super light.
I don't know if I like that.
They're
I like it. I like to have a little chunk. You know what I mean?
they're maybe slightly lighter than your normal acrylic dice, I would say.
But will you have the same noise because without the
yes, because it's bouncing around
being
even
thrown
more
around?
because it's light.
Oh, I hope not.
So every time
You know that?
Dan currently rolls his D4 pumpkins or whatever the hell they are.
Nap pumpkin! I got another nap pumpkin!
Oh my god.
I hate the sound of dice over recording. It does not translate well for me.
Yeah, well,
I gotta say that's gotta be like a personal thing because I don't
Yeah.
mind it, and I'm like
most people like it.
a
I
heavy.
would say you're in the
like,
minority.
I'm what they would call an audiophile, and certain noises bother me, and that is one of those noises
my
that
God.
bother the shit out of me.
Oh my god.
That and like
called off
stereo
preference.
feedback.
It has nothing to do with me.
As a certified audiophile.
As a certified.
All right, Tony, what's your dice?
Giant foam dice. I like chucking giant foam dice.
Yeah. Should have known.
Right next to digital dice. Yo, I love digital dice. I did not think I would like it.
Really?
I love as a DM.
I don't mind
love
digital dice, but I don't like them. You know, they're not like
love
my
it.
favorite.
I love it.
Wait, you mean like the ones on D&D Beyond?
Especially the one of D&D Beyond. It's not mathematically they perfected a digital roll.
I
I would
don't.
like them.
I hated it at first, and I can't believe how much it grew on me. Like I've gotten to the point where I almost don't need dice.
See, I like the ease of it, but my only qualm I can't stand about the D&D Beyond dice is it always throws it in like the same section every time, and I wish I could just like hold and drag and drop it. You know what I mean? I hate the fact that it just
That's
throws it in.
That's a good suggestion. I love that.
Yeah, D&D Beyond. If you're listening, you guys listen to our podcast, obviously, right?
Yeah, right.
If you're listening,
They better,
we need
otherwise we'll have a
function.
qualm.
Yeah. Qualm. Don't make me talk about my qualms with your system, okay? I'll bring up all my qualms.
Moving in the path of D&D, like as a DM, if I'm playing digitally, I don't want to use anything physical. I want everything to be digital. I understand how that sounds to some
Yes.
people, but
Unless
like
you're in person.
in person, I use actual dice, yeah, and I have like specific dice for different things. But like playing on a mouse and keyboard, like moving shit out of the way constantly, I'm good. Just roll that motherfucker.
I gotta say, I love when it doesn't happen that often, but I love when we all use the digital dice.
Same.
Because when someone rolls something, it's always like this dramatic pause. I rolled a 25 and it's like, a what? You know what I mean? Like in those big tense moments, like you want everyone to be like, oh no, like as soon as it hits the table, you know what I mean? And in D&D Beyond, it like notifies everybody. So everyone can see my rolls, and that's where like you get like a lot of reaction before I even react because I'm like, wait, what? But
That's why I like Dimension 20's Box of Doom is so fun. You know, because everybody sees the two rolls.
I would say that is my big thing that I don't like in those shows that I watch is that all of them are physical. So like there needs to be a full camera on the dice when you could just make them digital, and then everyone sees it all at the same time, as opposed to, wait, you really? What? You know, there's always this like confirmation on like, wait, what did you just roll? You know what I mean? As opposed to everyone instantly knowing what it is.
That's definitely a big preference thing. And speaking of preferences, all the things we mentioned today, please go in the Discord and let us know your thoughts so we can argue about it in the Discord.
Yeah.
What would your Drell, what would your Ashborn character be? How do you feel about the new counterspell? And your dice. Show us your dice, please. No, people don't post their dice enough, honestly.
I know, right? You know what? We need to make a channel for it.
Yeah, I want to post my keyboard.
and let us know your preference on this, because I feel like this one kind of splits the room a lot. You have people that like rolling that privately, and you have people that don't. They want to just see it when it happens, and they find that more fun.
Yeah.
I think it's just a preference thing, because I gotta say, I'm different, I think.
I get it. Like, I didn't like it at first, but I think it's when I first started, I was like, oh my gosh, it's just gonna screw me over every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I just love that it's just, there's no, it's just, you're playing to role play what the thing gives you. Like, like if you're trying to mid-max and like always roll nat 20s, like, yeah, that's exciting. But like, it's, you know what I mean? You're more of like just role playing. So, hey, role play something bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh no, I shot myself in the foot. Like, you know what I mean? Something like that. So, like, I don't mind if it gives me bad things, because it's just like, oh, okay, wasn't in the dice today, or, you know, okay, got it.
I want to make an observation about Jared as a D&D player, and you know, we game in other games. Jared's like he's like an iPad kid, except he grew up without an iPad. You know?
Wait,
what?
Just the ease of simplicity. You know, like everything, just simplify everything. And like, why can't we just do this easy thing? Why do we have to do the complicated? You just remind me of an iPad kid, but I know you didn't. I knew you grew up without a.
That is a very generous take of an iPad kid, by the way.
I was about to say.
Like, that is not what I was.
No, is that normally a mean thing?
I thought you were insulting the hell out of Jared for a
second. I know, right? I was like, wait, you better be talking something else. I thought you were gonna start off by saying, wait, you're so competitive, but then in D&D you're so relaxed when it comes to like the dice.
No, like I always see like iPad kids are like, why not just have the thing do the thing? Why do we need to do all this extra stuff? Like kids say, why do we need controllers? Just touch the screen, you know?
Because that is not what an iPad kid is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think your analogy falls. I think everything you just described makes sense.
Yes.
The iPad kid doesn't make sense.
Huge insult.
Yeah. Oh, am I? Yeah. My bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult you, Jared.
Okay. No, yeah.
Okay.
It's so funny.
I'm complimenting
you. I'm gonna Google iPad kid, and
it's someone who is so addicted to their device that they couldn't be bothered with anything else in the world.
It's like temper tantrums,
no social skills,
throwing like
me. So when you started saying that, I was like, what?
My bad. So today we learned
that's super funny.
So today I learned the definition of an iPad kid. See, this is good for everybody.
I like when I feel like we all do this with certain words, and I definitely do it all the time, where you'll take a word and just guess what people are saying it means, and don't actually ask people what it means, and then you'll say it and people will be like, what? I've been in that scenario a ton, and I always find it hilarious.
Well, I mean, I go through all the time with you, Dan. Like when I say ends meat, thinking that the word meat is MEAT,
yes,
not MEET. Granted, my dad was a butcher growing up, so ends meat made sense. We had to make ends meet.
We got to meet ends. We got those meat ends.
I googled iPad kid, and the first thing is an iPad starter kit, and it's a kid blowing or like picking his nose, Cheeto fingers.
They have a dry cough on their screen.
Yeah. Their image gallery is just pictures of like their own face.
Yep.
Oh man. Roblox.
Outside of the saucy fingers, this is not you.
That's
too good.
Great.
Anyways.
What's the next question?
Anyways, great question. Who was that again?
Infamous Dino 21.
Yeah, and all the Patreon pals can go over to our Discord, and yeah, if you have any, doesn't matter what tier you are in the Patreon, as long as you subscribe to any tier $2 and up, you have access to all the secret Patreon channels where we have our Shadow Smugglers. That one is actually super secret. That's only the Shadow Smugglers have access to that, but anyone else in Patreon can give us intro suggestions that we take. Like we had the Wings one at the beginning. We probably should have picked someone else's intro, but we chose our own this time. You can ask us anything, and you can just talk to us about Patreon things and give us suggestions for things you'd like to see in the Patreon.
We're just trying to, trying to improve.
Do we have time for one more question?
Okay, yeah, let's do it real quick.
Boxers or briefs?
Boxer briefs.
I think mine are considered boxer briefs. Like, I guess mine are like the athletic, like
compression boxer briefs.
yes, those ones.
Hug the thigh, room for the package.
Yes, those. Dude, running, like,
oh, yeah.
when I used to run all the time, I just got so used to them that I was like, I love these.
I'm wear this all the time.
Yeah, I love these. But yeah, they're amazing.
And Tony, you are
also boxer briefs.
Yes.
Evolved from Tidy Whities, believe it or not. And I was like, man, what a game changer.
Oh my goodness.
Wow,
anyway, I was a youngin'.
When I was younger, I hated them. And I didn't know there was anything else. I was just like,
yeah.
this.
You realized you had options, bro.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Then we got to
crazy?
middle school, and people were telling me, like, oh, what are you, boxers or briefs? I was like, there are options.
Right.
I went back that night to my parents, was like, I'm done with tidy whities. I need something else.
I don't know why I'm just picturing Menace saying this.
I am absolutely tired of this, Mom.
I'm tired of.
We're going to Sears right now, and we're going to
Now
get
pick me
boxer
up out of
briefs.
my high chair and let's go.
Although I will say I went to boxers next, which was also a mistake.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of just
They bunch
boxers.
up, you know?
Oh man, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Whew, great ep.
Yeah. Again, we appreciate you guys. This
Hanging
kind
with
of
us.
this kind of
Impromptu.
filler episode. Yeah, it was honestly. We want to do more of these, so if you do like this, please let us know. We would like even if it's not on here, we would like to put it maybe on YouTube or somewhere else where it lives. We definitely want to do more for you guys. We're just trying to figure out other ways to do that. So give us some feedback. Let us know what you do and don't like.
Yeah.
And also, speaking of my spooky dookie dice, happy spooky season, everybody. It's October now.
Yeah, it's October.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Now go on over to Discord where I'm gonna have a poll to see if people do like these round tables or not.
Do you like the heroes talk? No. Well,
Shit.
Okay,
does anybody have a recommendation?
I do.
Okay.
It's a show.
Oh.
Okay, so it's called Kevin Can Go F Himself.
Oh, my mom started watching this.
It's pretty
She
good.
loves it.
It's like interesting. I just appreciate that it's got made, like, type of situation. Like, the story's, it's pretty good. The characters are good. I like all the stuff, but it's just like an original idea that I love. Original ideas, like, they make me happy. So the idea behind it is it's not much of a spoiler. Everything about it kind of says the thing, but one character, his name's Kevin, he is acting like he's in a sitcom. Like, there's a laugh track every time he's on the show, and then the wife of Kevin, as soon as she walks out of the room where he is at, all of a sudden it becomes like a deep drama type of situation. And the different positions is crazy. So things happen that in a comedy makes sense, but when it all of a sudden it's like ramifications of real world that you then have to play into, the next day, and those ramifications are still happening. You know what I mean? Type of thing.
Like, we accidentally bought a bar. What a fun, quirky moment. And then they actually have to run the bar.
Or they start, going in debt because of the bar. Or, oh, hey, we decided to make a band, and it'd be great if we sold shirts and did all this stuff, and then it's just the ramifications of that for the next couple days in an episode, which is pretty cool. So it's a good one. I'd recommend it. It's fun.
I like it. I might watch that. I'm gonna put that on my list. I love that concept.
It's a good concept, and even if you don't like don't find it enjoyable, I think you'll enjoy the new idea of it.
Yeah.
So that's where it turned on to me, is that I was like, I love this idea because it's new.
Should I go get my mom on the podcast so she can give her opinion? Because she's just trying to sell me on this yesterday, and I was very intrigued.
Maybe that's how we should end this session, with our best ma. 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 Ma.
Ma, hot pockets.
Where's your meatloaf?
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Later. Mom, put it on the fridge.
And now it's time for the Patreon supporters. Hey, everybody, it's me, your best friend, Kemi Joe. And guess what? I got a new promotion at Lord Baron's Divider. That's right. You're looking at the new Senior Executive Vice President of Magical Goods and Quality Assurance. It's my job to oversee the quality of old and new magical artifacts that come through Lord Baron's Divider. So firstly, a new item has come across my desk that needs to be obtained, known as the Sword of 1,000 Truths. This item actually seems kind of familiar. I can't quite recall where I've heard of this item before, but we need it within our hands because it's perfectly safe here, not in the Kingdom of Aramor. Anyway, I'm going to need a team. Shadow Smugglers, assemble. Benjamin Hayes, you're assigned to Clairvoyance Reconnaissance. It's your job to stake out the magical artifact vault deep within the Aramor magical item and banking system. Learn their routine, guard routes, lunch breaks, and nap times. Benjamin, it's important that you take detailed notes. I want to know when they sneeze, poop, and fart. Dana Pickett, you're the muscle of the group. With your fierce prowess and intimidating killer karate kicks, it's no mystery that you're the 3-time champion of the Kambuki Yal Kumite. Dana, it's your job to keep the team safe. I'm counting on you. Dylan Snyder, master lockpicker and pickpocketer. You're the hands of this operation. Your job is to crack into the vault and obtain the Sword of Truths before anyone even notices. I have no worries you'll be able to pull this off. Watching your hands theft is like watching Yamanuchi on ice. Marcus Rico, you're the brains of the operation. Nobody is more cool and collect than you. Hell, you've already devised 3 plans to get that sword before I even recruited you. That's why you're the best on the team. Marcus, if anything goes wrong, I'm counting on you. And this is your friend Kemi Joe. I'm counting on you to call the shots, all right? Now, the Bloodshard Bandits will be helping you in this ordeal from a morality standpoint. Amanda Dulong had prepared tools you'll need for the heist. With Amanda's gear, you'll never be left stranded for too long. I'm so sorry for that. I'm sorry. Artemis will be patrolling the perimeter. He's known for beating up bullies, and, well, he's really good at it. He'll keep the coast clear. Rains will be providing refreshments. We're going to be needing snacks, and Rains has the best ones. His mom buys full-size candy bars. Ryan Green will be providing medical. The Sword of 1,000 Truths is very sharp, and Ryan has the fun band-aids with our favorite characters on them. Sly is our information nerd. We may need to fool some guards, and they're going to ask us some coded questions. Sly will have the answer. Tanner Smith is your ride out of Dodge. Tanner will be waiting under the overpass for a quick escape. Tanner is the best in the field. All right, now that the illegal heist is situated, let's move on to the Sidget College alumni. And it looks like our alumni had come back for some extra credit classes. The following students, please listen up for your test scores regarding magical artifact quality assurance. By the way, I rolled a d20 to see how well you guys did on your exams. Andrew Hall, you passed your exam. Your astute detail to the porcupine launcher was on point. Patrick Wennerstrom, you passed the exam too. The notes given on the self-building block set was well constructed. Robert Crisp, you failed your exam. The bag of devouring you examined was misclassified, and we had lost some valuable items in the process. Sergio Rodriguez, you passed the exam. The ring of detection you examined did identify itself as a ring. Good job. Tim, you failed. The orb of confusion was misclassified, and now half of the lower classmen are now eating crayons. And now for our final order of business, let's assign our new Humbrea's heroes to some item testing. Let's group up. Chandler Craft, Chips Toot, D&D Virgin 69, and Dayton's, your group will be testing a possible, highly volatile, reusable, exploding dynamite artifact. Please use non-flammable paper when recording your results. Man with Glass, Grant Famine, John Carroll, and Johnny Ta, you 4 will be experimenting with the bottomless bucket. Your group has also been assigned a Goblet of Never-Ending Water. Combine the two and see what happens. Julian Bullitt, Caitlin Ann, Odie Mel, Ripcorded, and Will Muller, you 5 will be doing some magical creature testing. See how the twig of moderate strength matches up against let's see what creature here. 8 wild bears. That's all the assignments for today, and I just want to say thank you for the love and support and everything in between. If you would like to hear your name in the Patreon shoutouts, why don't you go ahead and go to patreon.com/DND404, or go ahead and click the link down below the show notes, and you can find out how you can be a part of these amazing group of shoutouts. And until next time, have a good one.